It's Thursday, August 5th. Coming up live on The View. We'll show you what happened when the Real Housewives of DC dropped by. Plus, which respected politician's daughter was busted for shoplifting. And why Julia Roberts says she'll never get Botox. Plus, we've got a roundup of the most unforgettable, hilarious, and historic moments from this season. Rizzoli Isles star Lorraine Bracco's telling you whether The Sopranos are headed for the big screen. And it's a return 8 years in the making. And Vanessa Marcil is revealing why she's finally checking back into General Hospital. All that, hot topics, and more, coming up live on The View.
Welcome to The View. We have to start with this. Yesterday, the Real Housewives of DC were here, including Marcil Salahi, who you may remember from her, let's say, surprising appearance at a White House party last November. Things got very heated on the air and backstage, especially after allegations by the other housewives that Marcil's husband threw a drink at one of them. Now, in case you missed it, here's a taste.
I was sitting at a table so far away that I could hear him screaming and being verbally abusive to two women sitting at our table. And I just basically said, can you keep it down? We've had a great day. We've had a wonderful, successful day of promoting our show. Yeah. Can you keep it down? Of which case, he continued to be outraged and threw a glass of red wine on me.
And then she threw a glass of scotch back. So there was wine,
who threw the wine first?
It was the anorexic, calling me beauty is in all sizes.
To do with him abusing
because you've been abusing me. You're a woman abusing me.
So that gives him the right to abuse other...
Okay.
If you like us to, we can go there.
So I want to go forward.
Yeah.
I want to go forward.
I thought someone touched me. I was like,
that was Whoopi Goldberg. She don't come out unless she's passionate about something. Okay? So let me explain what was going on. You know, I come out sometimes just because I want to, and sometimes to get stuff going. That's the way I do it here, and everybody has seen it's cool. That's what I was doing. So I was backstage waiting for the conversation to get back to the White House part. Now, here's another camera that shows exactly what I did and what I said.
Beauty is in all sizes.
To do with him abusing
because you've been abusing me. You're a woman abusing me.
Excuse me. Could you get back to the White House, please?
Okay. If you'd like us to, we can go there.
Okay? Afterwards, Marcil was very upset about what was said about her on the air. And then I was told that she thought I hit her. So I went up to her, and I told her that she knew I didn't hit her. And yeah, you know how I said it. Choice words. And I make no, apology for my choice words. But then her husband got in my face, had his BlackBerry out and started taking pictures of me. And needless to say, I really went off then. And there was even more choice of words. I mean, they were so choice, you could have cut them with a knife and eaten them.
Yes, and before we move on, Marcil's lawyer sent us a statement last night insisting that the Salahis did not crash the White House party, that they were, in fact, invited to the party, and pointing out that they have not been charged with any crime.
Okay? All right, let's get on to other stuff and leave that old stuff behind.
Yes.
Former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani's daughter, Caroline, was arrested for shoplifting makeup at a New York store yesterday. Yeah. The same day, the ex-Miss USA, Shannon Marcil, was picked up in Texas for allegedly stealing beauty products from a Target. Now,
the girl's a Harvard student, Giuliani's daughter.
This is interesting, because guys steal, like, TVs and radios and, like, gadgets, and we steal makeup. Like, that's our, like,
Who among us has never walked out of a 5 and 10 as a kid with a lipstick? Without, you know what I mean?
Well, I never did that.
I pay for it. You know what I say? The real crime is going out without makeup. That is the real crime.
Which is why we go, you know. It's just but it's so funny, you know, you hear about these celebrities where Winona Ryder was doing it, and I don't know if it's a thing where you're feeling stress in your life and you get it out in that way.
Winona really had a haul, though. She's got some expensive items. This is just a couple of things.
Yeah, but I don't think one time. I don't think it's you think it's just a one-time thing. You know, I'm not saying that this girl did it more than once.
This seems like a social message. The Giuliani incident
between...
seems like a social message to her dad, maybe in a way.
There's a difference between the sticky fingers once in a while and a kleptomaniac.
Well, we don't know. We don't know how long it was going on or if there were more. But I'm with you, Joy. I mean, I hate to admit it that. Even as a kid, I tried it. Yeah. There was something kind of like all my friends were like, okay. And it was like a thing. Yeah. You know, so one was there and one was there. It's like, okay, the makeup's over there. So you get over there and you're trying to look out and look normal, like you're not doing anything, but looking guilty as hell, right? And like you're like this. And you're trying to slide it in your bag. And man, you get away with it until you get home. Yeah. And your mother said, where'd you get that? Yeah. You say, huh? I borrowed it.
One time, I accidentally, I remember, stole a Sharpie one time. I didn't mean to. My dad is an architect, and we would have to go make photocopies all the time. And I must have been, I don't know, 8 or something. And I loved trying all the different pens at the photocopy store. And I just remember getting into the car, shutting the door, and as I shut the door, I looked down and I saw the pen in my hand. I remember sitting there, the smell of the leather, everything, and I had this feeling I could like hear my heart, Edgar Allan Poe style. And I just thought, and I just started bawling in the car. And I said, Dad, I need to go back. I took the pen. And he said, you want to go back? I said, I need to go back. And he said, okay, if you want to go back. So he let me make the decision, drove me back. I went, cried to the woman. I was like, I took the pen. I didn't mean to. And she said, you know what, you can keep the pen.
Did you mean to take it?
No, I just was so caught up. I love pens. I love drawing and doodling. And before I knew it, I was in the car, and I felt awful.
Yeah, that's what a lot of shoplifters say, though.
Oh, no,
I didn't mean it. It was like all of a sudden, it was in my purse. I don't know how it got there.
I was 8. I think I for every single pen in my life since.
No, I still take pens. I'll take your pen in a minute. I don't care. I was 14, and it was my girlfriends and I. We were at the mall. It was like this lip gloss that everybody used to wear. You know, when you had the shiny lip gloss.
Club lips on.
I mean, you couldn't even talk because it was like this. And I remember I took it, and I went in the bathroom, and I opened it up, and I put it in my bag. And that's the thing. You're so scared. And I went out, and I remember the security, because I probably looked guilty, and he said, hello. And I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it. And I gave it back. They called my mom. They called my mom down there, and it was such a big deal because I had to sit there, and the thinking of my mother having to leave work and come down there.
What happened? See, I kind of learned how to do it from my mother, because my mother...
Don't bring her into this, Joy.
She's not here anymore, so I can... But I mean, she would take a belt off of a dress, and or something like that, or she would she'd pick up something, put it in her bag. I said, "What are you doing?" I don't want to wait online.
Wait a minute. I love that. Those are my earrings. Give me back my earrings.
Well, you just mentioned your lips. Let's talk about Julia Roberts, because she tells Elle magazine that she will not get Botox, and it's a shame that women don't give themselves a chance to see what they're going to look like as older persons. All I have to do is look at my mom. I know I look good.
But I think it's getting so bad in Hollywood. I think even some folks were casting for a movie, and they specifically said, we don't want anybody with the fake boobs or the Botox.
It was a period piece.
It was a period piece. And I think so many people are going overboard with this plastic surgery and everything that they're doing to their face. You can't see what they look like. It's a beautiful journey, I think, that people go on.
Oh, you say that now.
She also... I think there's a lot. But the good news is...
It's such a beautiful journey in 20 years, I'll tell you right now.
But, I think, too, there's a lapse. I think there's a lot more preventative ideas and makeup, lotions, et cetera, that you can actually get involved with to not have to do that. I think that's sort of...
Don't work. Grow up. Those don't work. You need those shots, baby.
No, you don't need those shots. I reserve the right. I reserve the right at any time.
I've seen some of these women, their entire face is frozen. And I'm going, what is wrong? They can't smile.
This advice from African-American women, okay?
What?
And why not, Joy? Because black don't crack, and we know. We know. child's parentage goes back to Kenya, she better get with the program.
We will be right back with more hot topics. A woman was kicked off her flight after she told flight attendant that she and other passengers thought they smelled alcohol on the pilot's breath. Now, after the pilot tested negative for the alcohol, the woman was escorted off the plane. Now, Joy, I know you
I would do that. I would, if I go in the cockpit, all right, I just like to say, hi, guys.
I've been with you when you do this.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
Everybody awake? Anybody coming from a party? You know, I try to be as adorable as possible. And they go, yeah, I'm fine. And sometimes they know me and they, you know, and I check that. I do it. I don't see what's wrong with it.
Then you give them a breathalyzer. Would you mind just puffing into this one?
I look into their eyes, and if they're bloodshot, I would complain about it. And this woman complained. She thought the pilot had drunk something, which he had. It turned out he didn't.
He took a breathalyzer test.
It was something.
And it turned out he
was fine.
He was fine.
So she went on the plane, happy as can be, and the next thing you know, she's told to get off the plane.
But the thing I think where they should have asked her to get off is because, you know, one little seed can spread. What is that thing about one that starts a big fire? And she had been talking with a few passengers beforehand.
Those remained on the plane.
The folks that were on, a few people that were on the plane, and she volunteered to go and report it.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, had she come back and other people started talking, that could create a mass fear. Even if they said, you know what, he didn't test, he was negative. Just me sitting on the plane, and I hear her go, well, I thought I smelled alcohol. I'd be like, wait a minute, my kid is on this. You smell alcohol on the pilot's breath? It could get so much
There
bigger.
is a fine line, because you want to be able to retain the right as a passenger to feel safe, and you have to assume that the pilots are doing the right thing, but you don't want to have to feel that you're going to be kicked off a flight for speaking up if you think something's not
But they offered her another flight and a voucher.
When,
so
the
they
next
just
week?
Well, no, it was the next
another
morning.
pilot.
Imagine if she complained about the meal, she'd be in Guantanamo.
I'm just saying, if she complained on that plane while they were on the air, or somebody overheard her talking, it could have gotten out of hand.
Was she civil after they told her she was fine?
Now, listen to this.
Stick by mine.
Yeah. Now, listen, a federal judge has struck down California's ban on gay marriage, saying that Proposition 8 violated the constitutional rights of gays and lesbians. And so, you know, this is not going to end here. That it's now being appealed, and it's going to go on. So for the next couple of years, I think it's quite...
I want to just quote the judge. One thing he said was, moral disapproval alone is an improper basis on which to deny rights.
Right.
I thought that's brilliant.
It was brilliant and well said, and I think it is well said. And I also think he went on to say that it's not trying to create a new right, that if you're gay and you want to get married, you're not trying to all of a sudden create a new right. You're actually being denied a right that is already yours by the Constitution. It's an interesting discussion, too, and the fact that one of the reasons people are trying to stop it, they write and say, is that they believe that children, if they see gay people getting married, then they will then turn gay.
If they're invited to so going to the wedding, the next thing you know, 20 years down the line, the boy or the girl is going to be gay. That's what they're thinking.
They don't realize that you don't turn gay.
If you go to a wedding with an ugly bride, does that mean you're only going to go out with ugly women?
But I think that some people felt. I think that also some people felt like. I think also some people felt like pastors would it infringe on their rights if they did not want to marry. You know, now could you go into a church and get married? And if the pastor said no, that is not what I believe in.
Well, I know.
Now
But
will
if
you
it's the
sue
law,
them?
if it's the law,
but
then he shouldn't be not paying taxes, because there is a right in this country for religious institutions to never pay taxes. Right. That means they have to uphold the law, in my opinion. I'm not sure if this is a legal thing.
No,
that
then they would just have to pay tax. You're saying they would have to pay taxes.
If you want to get away with that, you better uphold the law.
Here's the thing. If you have a church that does not marry gay people, from now on, you need to put that out there. You need to put it out and say we are not.
Most churches do when they put their statement of belief. When they put their statement of belief, they say what they believe in.
There are a lot of churches that do, and so if folks are going to challenge, you know what? Go to the places where
they want you.
where the wedding is going to be fantastic. Now, I only say that because I remember You know, in the old days when we couldn't even go into the church, you know, we had to go to our own churches. We don't want to see that happen. We don't want to see gay churches only. But until we're able to really push this law to where it needs to be, it's going to do its thing. Now, Sherry, I know you got
a lot more gravy boats. It looks like I'm buying more gravy boats.
Yes, you are. Now, what's wrong with the 3D glasses?
Yes,
girl?
I wanted to tell all the mothers and fathers who are taking their kids to these 3D movies. Good Housekeeping did a test on 7 pairs of glasses that were in packages and not, and they came up with all this stuff that was like, it was 95% of the glasses were contaminated. So when you get those 3D glasses, wash them off with soap and water or that alcohol pad. They sell them cheap, those alcohol pads.
They only tested 7 glasses, though.
I don't care. I'm taking my kid in there. One of the glasses had the staff stuff on there.
And it's your eyes, so be aware.
Just wash it.
Who's on your show tonight?
Oh, tonight on my HLN show at 9 o'clock, I have Meredith Vieira coming on.
We also want to congratulate Alex Rodriguez, who hit his 600th home run yesterday. 3 years to the day after hitting home run number 500. And Elizabeth, what do you have? What do you have for this glorious audience?
Some good things. Hey, the summer 2010 View mug is only available until August 31st. So order now and get free shipping only at abctvstore.com. But everyone in our studio audience today is getting one.
All right. And when we come back, look at the best moments of season 13. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back. You know, season 13 of The View has been packed full of wild, hilarious, and historic moments. And here's just a few of them. Take a look. To The View. She kicked me.
I did not. Yes, you did. You're a liar. You stop it.
That's their private business. That's not your business or my business.
99 out of 100 things I talk about on this show are none of my business.
Why does anybody do a sex tape?
To prove that you had sex once in a while?
A man like that who's very unflappable, that infuriates a wife. When you're like, da, 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 and they give you nothing, you're like, give me something. I want to argue with you.
Would you kick your dog out of bed to make room for a man?
Yes.
I think the women are picking each other apart. I think the men want to see skin and body and
That's true.
One thing that people don't know about both Joy and me, we are great.
We're lesbian lovers.
These are the things we talk about because we can. You not a man. I'm not a man. None of us here are men. So we're gonna get a real man up in here.
Hello, my sweet beaches.
Do men really think about sex every 7 seconds?
We crave food, we crave water, we crave sex.
Oh! So they think about sex all the time. I have learned this on The View.
Wait, isn't it easier to sit on a bike with one testicle? That's a question. Oh, my gosh.
Purse your lips.
Oh,
Good. That's what your anus looks like.
Did y'all know that King Tut's penis is missing?
I have a question. How did I end up here?
You never know who's gonna come walking through your door.
You get up there, healthcare bill signed, and you throw the F-bomb, and I'm thinking, oh, man.
Yes.
That might be one we maybe shouldn't say to.
remember that?
You call it your president, my president. We're both citizens. Obama's my president, too.
You'd never know.
Never know it.
You were on with us, President Obama, when you were running. Come on with us again. President Obama, do us.
Do us.
Through a little bit of a beating the last month. Do you really think that being on the show with a bunch of women, 5 women, who never shut up is going to be calming?
That is look, I was trying to find a show that Michelle actually watched. And So I thought that this is it, right?
Well, you're making me nervous. I don't know.
Good, Cha-Cha. Now, this is Barbara Walters.
I just use these things right here.
I feel a combination of relaxed and aroused in your company.
You always make fun of us. How come you do that?
Have you seen your show?
Look at me, I'm on The View.
I'm on The View, baby.
You're my girl crush.
Wait a minute, I understand you're going gay.
That's a crazy laugh, girl.
Together by Bernadette Piccolomini, who does a great job.
Yes, Bernadette.
What a cool season that was. You know, you kind of fun. Not that you forget, but when you see that all together again, that's pretty outstanding.
Very nice.
Hey, we want to let you guys know that all throughout August,
on this show.
we do have some fun. We are turning the Hot Topics table over to you and asking what's your view. Just go to our Facebook page to discuss all of the latest hot topics with other viewers. For more info and details, just check out our website.
Yeah.
I like getting curled by Ellen.
Yes.
Well,
Everybody, you're kissing everybody.
So it turns out you are gay.
Yes.
It's you.
You know, you can never tell what happens to a woman in her later years, as you pointed out.
That's right. You know what? We won't wait too many more years, but when we come back, we're coming back with the fantastic Lorraine Bracco. Come back with us. She's the best.
She played Tony's shrink, Dr. Melfi, on The Sopranos. And on the new show, Rizzoli Isles, she's a meddling mother who feels all that fancy police work is no match for a mother's instincts. She's right. Take a look.
So, you know, I never told you, but I'd be really good at solving cases.
Well, the forensic sciences can be quite complicated.
A little common sense goes a long way. I've read so many crime novels and I always know who did it.
Thank you, Agatha Christie. Stay in the car.
I won't embarrass you.
30 years of experience says otherwise.
Please welcome a great friend, the wonderful actress, Lorraine Bracco.
You had a hard week, huh?
It was a touchy week, but I'm over it.
I'm telling you.
Oh, boy.
There's never a dull moment on The View.
No, thank God.
Never a dull moment.
Thank God.
You know, Did you see it when we had Obama on, President Obama?
I did, and my feeling is the way everything is going, you should have him on every month.
You know, I thought of that because this is
so great.
Yeah, this is
Look,
the
you
audience.
all tuned in. He was relaxed. We talked to him. We questioned him. I felt that it was perfect, and he should be back.
This could be like FDR used to have those fireside chats on the radio, so he could do that here.
Fabulous!
Yes.
Do you hear us, White House?
They do. Listen.
Come
on, now we hear everything.
Yes, they hear
They know
everything.
everything. Now, you know, Lorraine and I hang out a lot in the summer because we both have
Because we bump into each other at King Cullen?
in the Hamptons at the supermarket, right? But now, what are you going to the supermarket? You're growing this gigantic vegetable garden. That Italian in you is coming out.
I don't know what happened. I've turned into like this earth mother. I had a little baby garden and I put some, you know, basil and stuff. And I said, no, this year we're really going to expand. I mean, look at this.
Oh, wow. Look at those cucumbers.
I know, we have 22 cucumbers. I'm going to have to open up a stand.
Little farm stand.
And there's little Ella. That's Stella's dog, Ella.
So you got a hit with your vegetable garden. You got a hit with Rizzoli Isles.
Oh, come on, that's so good. I feel like the shiny penny.
But not only, you know, the show has already been renewed for a second season.
Yes.
Angie Harmon was on. Yeah, give her a hand. And we had Angie Harmon on a few weeks ago to talk about the show. It was renewed.
And isn't she really ugly? No, really. I've met a lot of women in my life. This girl is so ugly. I don't know what to say. There's nothing nice about her.
Yeah, well, you know, you guys, this show was the highest rated cable premiere ever. Yeah. Why do you think the show was such a hit before it even came out?
We're just fabulous.
I
don't. You know, it's taken from Tess Gerritsen's books. It's a series of books. So I think she had a huge following with the books. And the books are great. And so I think, you know, that didn't hurt us. And, of course, we had the fabulous closer in front of us.
Right.
And, you know, what else is to do? A Monday night at 10 o'clock. Come on. Because
we're excited to see you back.
Yeah. Oh, you're cute.
Yeah, so I have to ask this question, you know, but the Sopranos, please. Is there going to be a Soprano movie? Is there not going to be a big Soprano movie? Do you care if there's a Soprano movie? Because you got another gig anyway?
You know, it's so funny because for a long time people would stop me in the street. Oh, really? There's got to be another season. There's got to be another show. And now I'm like, just when people ask me about it, I'm like, no, there's not going to be a show. Leave us alone already. I'm getting ugly. I'm ugly. I'm like, watch TNT at 10 o'clock.
Exactly. Well, I love the fact that you're Angie's mom. Your character is fantastic. She's overbearing. She's intrusive. This Italian mama. Would your girls say, yes, that's our mom?
Yes, that's her. I hear them say it when we watch it.
God,
look how cute they are.
These girls are so adorable.
And it's so funny.
Yes, they're really good girls. Like you know, I'm laughing because it's so hard to bring up decent children, I think, today. And I think there's so much bad television with bad people that it's really hard to do the right thing.
Were they allowed to watch The Sopranos?
I didn't let Stella watch in the beginning, and but. Yeah, I let them watch it after a while.
It's brilliant.
But I kind of told them, you know, if it's really violent, I would, you know, wouldn't
What
let
about
it.
esteem? Because you've got incredible girls, bringing them up with self-esteem and confidence. What's the secret to that? I think so many moms with young girls worry about it.
I have to say, it was the hardest job that was ever given to me in my entire life. And, you know, it's surrounding them with love and understanding and beating them when they need to be beat.
There you go. There you go.
I wish I beat them, really. I wish.
Going back to your very successful show, Rizzoli Isles, the guy that plays your son on the show is Bo Bridges, which is Bo Bridges' son. Excuse me. It's Bo Bridges' son, which is Jeff Bridges' nephew.
Oh,
and the woman who plays Isles is Sasha Alexander. She's Sophia Loren's daughter-in-law. So do you think that would be great if Bo came on, Jeff and Sophia, and they all guest starred on the show?
Come on, bring them on. I love it. I would love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to tell you this cute story about my dad. My dad is a huge Italian-American American. He's 84 years old. And he's, and of course, as a kid growing up, my parents were really into that $1 Million movie. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Channel 9 or Channel 11.
They only played the theme from Gone with the Wind.
Correct. And they played a movie like 6 times during the day.
Yeah.
So, and that was when there was no residuals, by the way. No, okay, fine. So my father's both my parents, big film, watch. They would know about like a little character. They would talk about, oh, wasn't he great in this? Right. So my father, huge Sophia Loren fan. So when I find out that Sasha's mother-in-law is Sophia, I'm like, okay, I need a signed photograph to Salvatore. And please, so she looks at me, she goes, do you want her to call him? Yeah, that would be really good. Here's the number, right? So I have to call my mother because, I'm the jokester in the family, and I was afraid that they would think it was me. Yeah. Hello, Salvatore, is he home? I mean, it would be some idiot thing I would do. Right. So I have to call my mom, and I have to say, listen, there's an Italian woman calling. It's not me. I don't want them to do Lorraine. Come on, shut up already, So I tell my mom, I prepare her. So when Sophia calls, my mother's like, it's not your daughter, it's the real thing. What happened? So my father gets into this conversation with Sophia, which is adorable. A huge fan. He tells her how much he loved her in the movies with Marcello Mastroianni, blah, blah, blah. And, of course, when you were nominated, which I was too, but,
Yes, same, yeah.
My friend took the boy home.
Is that the same time?
Same year.
Same year.
Absolutely.
And I brought my parents, and she was there, and she got that honorary Oscar.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And my father's eyes, wrap it up, shut up. So my father turns her, and then she comes out with her 2 sons to get this honorary Oscar, and my father's on the phone with her telling her, oh, I remember you with that beautiful black dress and the emerald. I'm like, this is my father talking to Sophia Loren. It was adorable. Anyway, they hang up. She says, Salvatore, if I come to New York, you buy me a cup of coffee. My father goes, Sophia, I'll buy you 2 cups of coffee.
Oh, I love it. I'm so glad you made that happen for him. I don't know if we can love her more. Thanks to Lorraine Bracco. Rizzoli Isles, Monday on TNT. Check your local listings. We'll be right back with General Hospital's Vanessa and Marcil.
Took her to Las Vegas, Lipstick Jungle, and Beverly Hills 90210. Fans are rejoicing that she's checking back into General Hospital. Please welcome Vanessa, Marcil,
How'd the name go?
And then I did it, and then Joy was helping me pronounce your last name.
Right? Giovanazzo.
You don't even know. Uncle Joe in Staten Island's going to be so happy.
Giovanazzo.
Regis said it wrong, and we haven't heard the end of it.
He's half Italian. How dare he?
I know, right?
Yeah,
Uncle Joe called. He's like, I'm calling Regis.
Yeah,
and he did.
Yeah, the black girl got it right.
Oh, crap. I forgot.
So I want to ask you, because we were talking in Hot Topics about shoplifting, and, every one of us...
Tissue? Can you believe I forgot to take out my gum?
Just spit it right there, girl.
Look at the mom.
Yeah,
this
I'm
is how
right here.
We were talking about shoplifting because every one of us had done it. What were your experiences with shoplifting?
Did you have any?
Did you?
Recently.
We did. I know.
What's going on?
She still does.
I still shoplift, but
You still shoplift?
I do.
From
Is that too much
where?
honesty? No, from hotels and. I take all that stuff.
Everybody
all do that.
Does everybody do that?
Yeah, everybody does that.
Just when it has the price tag on it was what we're talking about.
We don't want you in bars before you come, finish your run
We're
on
not
General
stealing on
Hospital.
today's show. Disclaimer.
No, but my son went through, he's in the green room watching you guys, and he's went through a lot of guilt over taking a Lego from his class. I mean, a lot. And then he finally told me, and it was a big buildup when I was really worried about what he was about to tell me. Yeah. And he told me, and I was just like, oh, honey, everybody steals, and everybody tries that, and then you figure out, that it's, everybody steals at a certain point. Is there anyone
Did
who
you
has
say even mommy? Have enough money to bail him out in 20 years?
I was like, it's good that you're talking about it and telling me, but I loved your story that you told
I can relate. I can relate. That's like a
but how'd that happen to you? That's not.
Well, girl,
just on your own. You're a good person like that.
I have a very guilty.
And you raised your son a great way too, because he came and told you. But I have to get back to it has been 8 years in the making, girl. But Brenda is returning to General Hospital. People are going nuts over this girl. How are you feeling about being back after 8 years?
It's like my high school reunion.
Yeah.
I love it so much. I mean, I love it, love it, love it. So I get really excited on set. I get really nervous. I get nervous all the time anyway, but I get my sweaty palms when I speak to Maurice Bernard, who, I love. Handsome. And
that's relatable.
But what happened? Because Vanessa, since 2000, when you left in 2003, it was rumors you were coming back. Then you were going. Then you left, and you were coming back. I mean, what made you finally say, I'm going to come back home?
I was up at our farm with my sister. First of all, I always wanted to go back all the time.
Yeah.
I missed them all the time, and I loved those people so much. And we were up at our farm, my sister and I, and we had just found out that she has cancer, and she was about to start chemo. And so we were kind of up there bonding as a family, and I was thinking, I need to stay close to home. I want to be able to be with her. We all want to be together. And I got this phone call from a journalist from a New York newspaper, and he was saying Julianne Moore is going back to honor her roots, where she came from, and all these people were kind of, visiting, and that the genre was dying, which I actually am embarrassed to say I didn't really realize. And I just thought, oh my gosh, I'd love to talk to you about my experience there and how much it meant to me, and how I wouldn't have anything in my life if it wasn't for these people helping me out in the beginning.
Absolutely.
And when I got off the phone, my sister said, gosh, you were so excited and, just worked up. And she's like, I haven't seen you that excited in a long time. So then I picked up the phone and called the head writer. And then picked up the phone and called Brian Franz, the president of ABC Daytime. And then I went and begged. I went into their offices and got on my knees.
They are so excited.
And begged for them to have me.
Oh, and they're pulling out all stops. I mean, Brenda comes back on August 11th. On August 10th, they're preempting the soaps, right? So for all the classic episode reruns and going forward. And then SoapNet is actually doing like a Brenda marathon, which is incredible.
I know,
what do you think it's about her that makes everybody... In one word, what do people love about her so much?
I have no idea. I don't know.
She is back.
She's adorable.
She's cute.
She's adorable.
I don't know what it is. I think it's, they write her really well, and I don't know, there's great people over there to work with. It's luck, I think, maybe.
Well, girl, everybody is so excited. We can't even breathe, so thank you for coming back. Oh, my gosh.
I can't look at one thing. I can't look at one thing. I'll get you nervous.
Thank you so much to Vanessa, Marcil, Giulianis.
Aretha, get better. Everyone else take a little time to enjoy the view. Hot damn!